What if I told you the reason you feel emotionally exhausted isn't because you're too sensitive, but because you've been treating connection like a game? Hookup culture promises freedom. No pressure, no labels, no commitment, just vibes. But here's the question nobody wants to ask. If it's so freeing, why are so many people secretly feeling empty? Today, we're talking about hookup culture and the emotional damage that comes with it. Not to judge anyone, not to shame anyone, but to understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Because this isn't just about dating. It's about your heart, your self-worth, your future. We live in a time where attention is everywhere. Dating apps, DMs, late-night texts. You can meet someone new in minutes. You can replace someone in seconds. And that's the problem. When people become easily replaceable, connection becomes disposable. You start talking to someone. It feels exciting. The chemistry is strong. You hang out. You get close. Maybe even intimate. Then suddenly, they pull away. Or you do. No explanation. No closure. Just silence. And you tell yourself, it's not a big deal. But your heart doesn't agree. Let's break this down. First, emotional detachment disguised as strength. Hookup culture teaches you to act unbothered. Don't catch feelings. Don't care too much. Don't double text. Don't seem needy. So you start pretending. You pretend you don't care when they don't reply. You pretend it's casual when you actually want something deeper. You pretend you're fine with no strings attached. But here's the truth. You're not a robot. You're human. When you share time, energy, and physical intimacy with someone, your brain bonds. Your body bonds. Your emotions bond. You can't just switch that off. So what happens? You suppress your feelings. And suppressed feelings don't disappear. They build up. They turn into insecurity. They turn into anxiety. They turn into trust issues. You think you're being cool, but you're slowly disconnecting from your own emotions. Second, validation addiction. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's not about love. It's about attention. You post a picture. You get messages. You feel attractive, wanted, chosen. You match with someone new. The conversation is exciting. The flirting feels good. It boosts your ego. But here's the danger. When your self-worth depends on who's texting you, you lose control over your peace. Imagine this. You're talking to 3 different people at once, all giving you attention. You feel powerful. Then one by one they fade. Now what? Suddenly you feel rejected. Not enough. Replaceable. Because you were feeding on validation instead of building real confidence. Hookup culture keeps you chasing that next dopamine hit. New face. New excitement. New thrill. But thrills don't build stability. Third, intimacy without security. Physical closeness feels powerful. It creates connection, vulnerability, attachment. But without commitment, that connection has no foundation. It's like building a house on sand. You share your body, maybe even your secrets. But there's no agreement, no direction, no long-term vision. So every time it ends, it doesn't just feel like losing a person. It feels like losing a piece of yourself. And the more this cycle repeats, the more guarded you become. You stop trusting easily. You stop opening up. You start expecting people to leave. Not because you're broken, but because you trained your nervous system to prepare for abandonment. Fourth, confusion between chemistry and compatibility. Hookup culture prioritizes sparks. Do we vibe? Is the attraction strong? Is it fun? But chemistry is instant. Compatibility is built. Chemistry is that late-night energy. Compatibility is how they treat you when you're stressed. Chemistry is passion. Compatibility is character. When you focus only on the spark, you ignore the red flags. They don't communicate well? It's fine, the vibe is good. They avoid commitment? It's okay, we're just having fun. They disrespect boundaries? At least it's exciting. Until it's not. And then you're left wondering why it hurts so much. Here's the hard truth. Hookup culture isn't evil. Casual dating isn't automatically wrong. But when you use people to fill emotional gaps, or let yourself be used for temporary pleasure, there is always a cost. And the cost is usually your peace. So what's the takeaway? Stop treating your heart like it's replaceable. Ask yourself real questions. Do you actually want something casual? Or are you settling because you're afraid of being alone? Are you okay with no strings? Or are you secretly hoping it turns into more? Be honest. There's nothing weak about wanting commitment. There's nothing desperate about wanting depth. There's nothing outdated about wanting real love. The strongest thing you can do in a hookup culture world is protect your emotional standards. Date with intention. Pay attention to character. Choose people who choose you clearly. Because temporary excitement fades. But emotional damage? That can last years. You deserve more than being someone's option. You deserve to feel safe, valued, and respected. If this hit you in a personal way, I want you to reflect. Have you been numbing yourself? Have you been chasing attention instead of connection? Have you ignored your own needs just to seem chill? Comment below with one word that describes how modern dating makes you feel. If this